What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Entertainment Plaza Uncut episode number 2. Today we got the usual Brian Plaza. What's going on, Brian?
What's up? What's up? How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. It's a Saturday. I don't work. You know, it's a day I don't work. It's a good day, man. Then we got my brother from another mother, Scott Marshall, the author, Guylan Brown. What's going on, man?
What's going on, everybody? How you doing?
Good, man. It's been a minute, dude. What you been up to?
Shaving my beard.
I see that. What happened to your big chin?
Right. It's been too much. It's getting hotter, and I had to take it off. It's been a long time.
All right, well, you answered my last question because I was going to ask you what made you want to shave it off. Because I mean, look, regardless, you sexy with or without. You know what I mean? But right now, I don't know if I'm talking to Guylan Brown or Brandon Brown. So
right, that's my daughter thinks. My daughter thinks I'm her uncle. Or
oh man, that's funny.
It was time though. My hair grows back so fast. So you tune in next week, it might have a full beard already back.
Get that big chin back. You know what I mean?
Right. So it's always better than Brian's beard.
Hey, I'm working on it.
Real quick though, in case y'all ain't realize this, trophy husband. All right, just wanted to let y'all know. I'm saying. I mean, I bought it myself, so that's how I think about me. My wife didn't buy me this, you know what I mean?
Oh God, they got one for me too.
I got you, bro. I gotta go back at Kohl's. They were on clearance, so I was like, you know what? I'm worth 75 cents. I'm worth 75 cents.
You are.
Oh man, but yeah, man. So look, man, this is episode number 2 of the Entertainment Plaza Uncut. Like I said last time. Anything goes on this podcast. You know, we'll talk about everything and anything. It could be entertainment, pop culture, sports. It doesn't matter. Whatever comes to mind, we'll talk about it and go from there. Like always, we're live on twitch.tv/the Entertainment Plaza. If you cannot or don't want to watch live, you can catch us on YouTube. Catch us on youtube.com/the Entertainment Plaza. It's usually up about an hour after the live content ends. And then shortly after that, we're on all podcast services around the globe. What does that mean? You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, Mi Gente. I mean, literally anywhere you want to catch us, you can listen to us. So one thing we ask is that if you can, leave us a like on YouTube. You know, subscribe, especially subscribe. We're about, I think, 10 to 15 subscribers away from 100 subscribers. I know that's not much in the grand scheme of things, but it helps us immensely. So if you can go on there, give us a like, and especially give us, subscribe to our channel. We will greatly appreciate that. If you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, there's 5 little stars there. Click the 5th one. That gives us a 5-star rating. Helps us, Guylan and Brian, we were talking about the algorithm and how that works. You click that 5-star and leave us a review. That helps immensely, helps other people find our podcast. But now that we're through with that, what's the first topic, guys? What do you guys want to talk about? We have, we're talking about a lot of things that happened the last few weeks, and it's up to you guys, man. When do you guys bring up a topic, and let's get this started?
I think we should start off with this Johnny Depp, court case, because I do believe it has wrapped itself up. It was a really long case, a couple days. That it went down, and let me tell you, Amber Heard's law team is absolutely atrocious. They were a wreck from beginning to end.
Agreed.
I mean, it was such a horrible trial.
I mean, you have to be able to work with what you got, and what do they have to work with? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You got a story. He has his story. She has her story, and then, a good lawyer. But again, a good lawyer should be able to get you out of anything, even if you are guilty of it. You know what I mean? So there's that. But then the situation for what it is. So let's just talk about the situation overall. What is a whole, basically, domestic dispute situation?
Yeah. So I believe this court case, if I'm not mistaken, and I may be wrong, I know there's the whole domestic dispute where she said that he hit her somehow, domestic violence. He's saying the opposite, but he's also suing her for defamation. So essentially saying, you are dragging my name through the dirt, and I didn't do any of the stuff that you're saying I did. So, so when it comes to that, that's essentially the gist of it. I think this court case in particular is his lawsuit against her for defamation. So
'Cause there was
Yeah.
she did one against him first, ain't? Didn't he like? Didn't she sue him for?
I believe so.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, she took him to court and she won like a whole bunch of money.
100 mil or something.
Um,
Like that. It was
yeah,
Wow.
and so she said that she was going to donate it to the hospital or whatever. I forget exactly which one it was. And it later came out that she never donated none of the money she promised to the
wow,
hospital. She went out on tours, this, that, and the other. She was saying that she's such an advocate for abuse and
that's
this, that, and the
crazy.
third. And then it comes out that you know she was the one abusing Johnny the entire time. I mean,
That's
I
nuts, yo.
think the one of the things that closed out the entire trial was an audio tape of Amber saying to Johnny, go ahead, say something. No
Yeah,
one's gonna believe you because you're a guy. And she's like, you're ugly, you're old, this, that, and the third. And she was like, I dare you to say something because nobody's gonna side with you. And that audio tape went up, and almost immediately, I mean, she had lost the case.
Right.
Um, it was, and a lot of people dropped Johnny off, their stuff for this. The one and only company that I believe stayed backing Johnny was Dior.
Dior, yes.
And even then, Amber was like, this, that, and the third, you're ugly, they're not going to want you. And he's like making so much money, and people are calling him hot off of the commercial. I mean, he's kind of winning. Like, it took a big toll on his life while everything was going on, and it really did bring him down. But I mean, this one's up for Johnny. He won this case hands down.
well, I mean, we don't know yet. You know what I mean? Because you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still it is. And I hate to say it, it's a female judge, but I think just from like watching some of the videos, her facial expressions when the lawyer for Amber Heard is talking, she's like, "You are an idiot, bro." Like that's what I see in her face. She's like, "This is your lawyer." Like,
Yeah.
you were better off defending yourself at this point. But yeah, so I don't know. I have a feeling that it'll either be dismissed or he'll win the lawsuit. But
But let's talk about like think about how much work and stuff he has lost throughout this
Oh,
whole
yeah.
process at
Yeah.
the beginning. Like just from but then that brings you into a whole situation where and it goes into our last uncut situation when we brought up Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. How many men not alone in this world who are abused but won't come out and say it because they're men. And then think
Right.
about it when you're in the limelight and you're a celebrity and everything, and you are being abused in a relationship. Do you feel like I can come out and talk about it, or people are going to believe me? Because what a good percentage, I don't want to say 90, but most of the time people are not going to believe that the man is the one being abused in a relationship, and it's a huge thing in this world. But one, you have men who are not going to talk about it and bring it up, but then you have the other half where we're not going to believe that. Like Johnny Depp being abused
Right.
by Heard, it's unheard of. And like the few points that I heard in this whole case was one that I saw it on Instagram. I don't know how 100% if it's true or not, but they said about she testified about this makeup kit that she would carry around.
Yeah.
And then the company came out and was like, that didn't come out that year. It didn't come out till like a whole year later than what she's saying she carried around. So it's just like, like even just that alone to me, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, you're lying. And if you're lying about that, you're making up that story. That tells me that you're making up stories, which tells
Exactly.
me. Now, granted, a lot of it. I mean, there's parts of it could be true. It goes both ways. It could be everything. But at that point, you already lost a lot for me because you're complete lying on this man, and that's not something to play with.
Right.
Speaking out on someone that abuse, because there's always going to be people who believe that, and no matter what, even if it wins the case, there's going to be people that are not going to hire him. They're going to be like, he abuses women, and he just happened to win that case.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, all too often you hear about stories where people were in jail for 4 or 5 years because someone called foul. What's that saying? Cry wolf, essentially.
Yeah.
And then you come to find out whether female or male. You know what I mean? That it wasn't true that the victims, so to speak, was lying, or that it was mistaken identity. So I'm not saying this is the case in this instance, but obviously for one thing that's always in my mind is Johnny Depp is an actor. You know what I mean? Right. So he can go up on that stand and make.
But she's an actor as well.
Yeah. Well, not a good one though. That's the difference. There is the difference. You know what I mean? He can go on stage and
people on the other side that believe otherwise. You know what I mean?
And for me, I think Johnny Depp, like, he has presented himself to be so likable in this. You know what I mean? So vulnerable. Like, granted, it may be. I feel like, you know, we don't know all the details. You know, people are going to say what they need to say, but I feel like the truth is on Johnny Depp's side in this case. So, you know, hopefully, you know, everything just kind of goes away. I think I read something. Well, I know I read something along the lines of Johnny Depp just wants this to go away. He doesn't want to hurt Amber Heard. He doesn't want to hurt her pockets. None of this stuff. He just wants to be left alone at this point. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we go back to talking about what he lost. You know, Pirates of the Caribbean. He went out and said that Disney automatically dropped him from any future Pirates of the Caribbean movies before any of this started, just from rumors that he did something wrong. And he's like, that's what he's pissed off about. He's like, how dare you drop me from something and you're already saying I'm guilty until, you know, it's guilty until proven innocent type thing, where it's innocent until proven, it should be innocent until proven guilty. And now all this stuff is coming out. We're wondering, at the end of the day, it's like, all right, does he have something against Disney now, you know? So,
well, he did say that no matter what, he is not coming back as Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, which sucks.
He will not be doing any more movies. Which, yeah, it really does suck because I mean he was a perfect fit for, you know, Jack Sparrow, and we're not going to see any more movies. They, you know, the one I think there was one in development. It's completely just done. It's stopped. So,
but you know, would you see if the roles are reversed and Johnny comes up for something with her? Do you see Disney dropping her right away?
She's still in Aquaman.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, she's still in Aquaman. That's not Disney though. You know what I mean? That's that's Warner Brothers, but still,
these are other companies. You know what I'm saying? Do you see them right off the bat be like, yes, we're going to drop her because he's out here saying that she's abusing him? Right. Do you see them right away that's like, we want nothing to do with it, we're dropping her. We don't know if it's true or not, but we heard it, so we're going to drop her.
Yeah, and they have it. Now, there's a petition out there. I mean, it has millions of signatures where they want Amber Heard out of Aquaman 2, and it still hasn't happened. Like, Aquaman 2, I think it's supposed to come out sometime this year, so she's clearly going to be in that.
What do you do? They blank out her face the whole movie?
Yeah, they can't. They can. If they could put a mustache on Henry Cavill, they can do, or Cavill, they can take her face off. But, you know, it sucks. You know, at the end of the day, it really should have never come to this. But one thing that Johnny Depp did say, which I found hilarious, was that he gave Marilyn Manson like drugs. He gave him cocaine, Xanax, all kind of stuff. And the one part he said, yeah, I gave him the drugs so he shut the hell up because he talks too much. So, I mean, he's being honest. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, he's being so honest that you almost feel like this guy isn't lying to us, you know? Yeah. So, and he said, yeah, I did cocaine, I did this. But then he also mentioned, I've been clean for a year or a year and a half or however long it's been now with this whole thing. So, I mean, we'll see how it turns out. At the end of the day, I think, you know, it'll either get dismissed or, you know, whatever it is. But I think Amber Heard's reputation is going to be hurt a lot more than Johnny Depp's at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving on to story number 2. Stick with the movies. Fast and Furious director is leaving the last 2 movies of the Fast and Furious franchise. Now, one thing I saw was that the
fact that there's still 2 movies.
Yeah, I know, dude, that's fucking crazy. But one thing I did see was that he said along the lines of he is leaving the movies, but he's staying on as a producer. So it says the Fast 10 director Justin Lin announced he's stepping down as director of the film. Lin, who has directed 5 Fast films, was set to direct Fast X and its sequel. He'll remain as a producer on the saga. So, I mean, it doesn't really say why he left. Any of you guys have an idea as to why? I have my idea or my belief as to why he's stepping down, and it's because of one person. But I'll let you guys start this conversation.
That's a whole interesting situation, and for him not to leave completely but step down.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I don't want to walk away from this thing at all, but I can't stand working with somebody or something. I don't know. I feel like all the time I always hear people having problems with Vin Diesel
Yep.
a lot. Like everyone has an issue with this guy. But he's so immersed in the Fast and the Furious. It's not like you can really like, all right, we're gonna take Vin Diesel out of this completely. You know what I mean? So it's a toss up. But like, do it's like a coworker. Like, oh man, I'm gonna change departments. I ain't gonna leave this company, but I'm gonna change the departments because I'm so tired of working with this person that you have to come every day and see every day and deal with, and they're a hassle. So if I had to guess, my guess is on Vin Diesel being the problem.
Yeah, I'm in the
Yeah,
same boat. Go ahead, Brian.
yeah. I mean, I really haven't watched many of the Fast movies since after like maybe the third or fourth one, because to me it just seems to get a lot more ridiculous as it goes on. Um,
Right.
so I mean, maybe it could just be that these last couple of movies aren't particularly his vision anymore. He doesn't see what he wanted the Fast series to be, and it's taken a whole different toll from, you know, input from other people and stuff like that. So maybe, he decided to step down, let everybody else finish out the series how they see fit, because it's not exactly going how he envisioned it to begin with.
Right.
But I mean, you never really know.
He did put out a statement. He said, and this is Justin Lin speaking, with the support of Universal, I have made the difficult decision to step back as director of Fast X while remaining with the project as a producer. Over 10 years and 5 films, we have been able to shoot the best actors, the best stunts, and the best damn car chases. On a personal note, as the child of Asian immigrants, I am proud of helping to build the most diverse franchise in movie history. I will forever be grateful to the amazing cast, crew, and studio for their support and for welcoming me into the Fast family.
Do
But
you think it was?
was that?
Do you think it was forced?
I don't know if it was forced. I think because the only thing I can think of is because he's still a producer, he's still under contract. So
Right.
because he stepped down as director, I think he's having creative differences with Vin Diesel. Vin
Right.
Diesel probably still wants to go to space, still wants to do some chase on
Yeah.
Mars or some shit like that, and he wants to. From what I hear, is that he wants to take it back to its roots. The
Right.
last 2 films. Let's take this back to Fast and Furious 1, 2, and maybe even 3.
Hmm.
That's where I think it's going as far as the creative differences. And he's staying on as producer because he's been on 5 films already, so he's probably already under contract for these 2 last films, and it's not as easy as you're leaving because we don't want you here anymore, and that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. And he puts out this statement to make everything seem all good or whatever it may be. And I have a feeling, 5-6 years down the line, after the last Fast and Furious film comes out, it's gonna be like, well, Justin Lin and Vin Diesel didn't like each other, just like
Yeah.
or Vin Diesel forced Justin Lin out, but had to keep him on to not get sued, whatever it may be. Same thing with The Rock, forced him out.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Rock was probably one of the best things that happened to the franchise in a while, and now you're not going to see Hobbs anymore. So
Yeah.
that's just my opinion.
I
I'm
agree.
neither here nor there with the whole him leaving as director because, like Brian said, after the third film, it's not Fast and Furious anymore. Now it's just this crazy. Let's see how ridiculous we can make these movies. Jump off a
Yeah.
cliff, have the hook get on my car, and I swing onto the other side of the Grand Canyon type thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Vin Diesel caught a car. He
yeah,
Right.
legitimately caught a car as it's flipping. Like, come on.
yeah,
What human's capable of doing that?
Vin Diesel.
No,
exactly.
he ain't.
Fun fact though, when I went to Dominican Republic, they call me Bin Diesel. No lie. The whole
What, Black Vin Diesel?
Yo, Bin Diesel. Yo, Bin Diesel. I'm like, oh, they're talking to me. So I was known as Bin Diesel for a whole 5 days.
Was that
Just don't have
Black Vin Diesel?
Dominican Vin Diesel, and I'm not even Dominican.
I thought
Vin
they
Diesel.
just didn't know how to say the V. You know what I mean? They just said
Oh,
Ben
yeah.
Ben
Oh,
Diesel.
oh man, that make me feel better.
Oh man, that's great. But no, I do hope. I don't know who the next director is going to be. I'm sure Vin Diesel or Bing Diesel is going to
Vin
have
Diesel.
a say on who it's going to be. So I wouldn't mind seeing at least the last movie just go back to its roots, man. Some
Right.
dope ass cars, some dope ass races, some the storyline kind of like the back end of the whole movie, but still integral to the prior 11. So either way, I'm gonna go watch. You know, just like Brian and his Pokemon games, regardless if they're shitty or not, you've already played 13 out of the 15 out. I've already watched 10 out of the yeah, I've already watched 10 out of the 12 Fast and Furious. Like I have to finish this, you know, regardless if they're good or not. So that's where I'm at with it. But moving on to the next topic. Doctor Strange comes out next week. One of the things that Andy brought up, who unfortunately couldn't be here because, you know, we have lives and we got to work still. But, you know, besides Doctor Strange, yes, I'm looking forward to it. What other, I mean, we could talk about that, or what other movies are you looking forward to, you know, the rest of the year that kind of catches your eye?
I know. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Brian. You're good.
Nah, so definitely Thor: Love and Thunder. I want to
Yes.
see that. Because the trailer is just, it looks great. Multiverse of Madness. I want to see that. Um, Aside from those two, I'm not too sure if I'm hyped about anything else coming out right now. I know that there was a trailer put out recently for Multiverse of Madness, and it looked, I mean, really good. It was a short little clip, really action-packed, stuff like that. It was, I mean, it looked beautiful. So, you know, we are going to go as a group to see that shortly, so we can keep you guys,
Thursday.
you know, updated on our you know, personal little review on it and stuff like that. So I really can't wait to watch the freaking thing.
Yeah, for all 0 of you watching the live chat right now, or the live show, we'll be watching the movie next Thursday, late night. So Friday afternoon or Friday night, we'll be doing our review on it. So please, you know, come out and check that. It's going to be a good one. Personally, for Doctor Strange, I'm hoping that it's just not a cameo-filled movie. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing that, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna be hype as shit if, you know, we see Toby again and maybe Andrew Garfield again. My one thing is, you know, who else are we gonna see? Are we gonna see X-Men? Because in the one trailer they had almost like a cartoonish vibe behind him, and then Professor X's voice, and people are saying, all right, is this X-Men 92, you know, the animated series coming through the you know, multiverse. You know, who all from X-Men is going to be in the cinematic universe now? You know, we're going to see, there's rumors of what's his name, Tom Cruise being another Iron Man from a different universe in this, you know. So I am hyped for the cameos. The one person that I really want to see come through and hopefully get their live action film is Spider-Man Miles Morales. Like, if that man comes through and it's a live action Miles Morales, even if it's just, I have a feeling they're going to show the animated series Miles Morales at some point, you know, even if it's just a short cameo. But if they can bring him in and make him, you know, 5-10 minutes of this movie, and then be like, this movie's in production at the end, maybe a you know, after the credit scene where it's like, you know, coming 2024 or whatever, I'm gonna be hype as shit, because that's my favorite superhero character. But that's kind of what I'm looking forward to as far as Doctor Strange goes.
So I'm gonna go completely opposite of you. I want a cameo filled movie. I want to see random people from random movies in situation that you didn't even think was going to be in the movie. You know, we have ideas of who we think's going to pop in the movie, and I want random people like, oh wow, I didn't even, yo, did you see who that was? And then put, you know, when they're piecing together who's who. And then, what you brought up the Tom Cruise situation, do you think they try to do a Iron Man? Who played Iron Man? I can't think of his name. Who played Iron Man?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. Yeah.
So, you know, everyone that knows, you know, he died in the last movie. Do you think they try a situation where he comes from a different universe and stays in the one, and they bring him back into an Avenger situation because he's just a different one from a different universe? And that way they can make more movies with him. Kill him off, everyone thinks he's dead. They bring this movie where there's multiple universes, and another one comes when he plays that character because this one died there, and maybe all the Avengers in his world died, and he's the only one left, and he's the only one that died in this world. You know, like a situation, and or even with Scarlett Johansson. You know, you still have that option if you're going to go multiple universes. You have the option to bring the exact same character into this world.
Right. So it's funny you mentioned that because I was going to bring up. I don't know if I told you guys last week. I'm sure I did that I was watching the animated series What If on Disney Plus.
I was going to say that.
And did you guys catch any of that?
No.
All right. So the last two episodes, it's going to be a little bit of a spoiler, but the last two episodes are what if Ultron got the Infinity Stones, like all 5 of them instead of Thanos, right? Super smart guy, and he figures out that there's other universes. You know, the Watcher is watching through all the universes. He's not allowed to intervene whatsoever. But Ultron hears the Watcher, which no one else can do because he has all 5 stones. Mm-hmm. He ends up breaking through the, unknown, essentially, which is the center of all the universes, and sees the Watcher. The Watcher then has to get almost like another Avengers team together. It's Captain Carter, Black Widow, Thor, who else is it? T'Challa, but T'Challa is actually Star-Lord in this. Killmonger, who's actually Black Panther in this, So he gets this group to fight Ultron. Essentially, they win, and they all go back to their timelines. Now, Scarlett Johansson, or Black Widow, is supposed to go back to her timeline. The only problem is her Earth, she's the last person on that Earth because Ultron already killed everybody. That's his goal, to kill everybody. So he's like, well, I'm going to send you to another dimension. And he sends her to another universe where that Black Widow died, which is our Black Widow. And she's there with Samuel L. Jackson. He's like, you're not my Black Widow, but you have her, whatever, some shit like that. So it's funny you mention that because I feel like that could happen. They bring her back, Black Widow back, and it's like, you're not my Black Widow. You're from another universe, but we have Black Widow back in the MCU,
Yeah. It opens up the door to a lot. Which thinking about like movies that we're looking forward to see, I brought up a list of movies, and I'm surprised at how many movies that excite me on this list. And you brought up Killmonger and Black Panther, and the whole Black Panther 2 is coming out, which will be interesting to see what they do with the unfortunate death of
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah. So like Black Panther 2, that one coming out. I'm excited for the Flash movie coming out.
That's pushed back to 23 now.
Still excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too.
Everything gets pushed back so far. Avatar 2, which I didn't even know they were making a second one of that.
Yeah.
Buzz Lightyear, not only for me and the kids, but that looks like a really good movie. But Jurassic World, how do you feel about them putting out the another Jurassic dinosaur movie?
It makes sense. The last movie ended with, I believe it ended with the park, basically all the dinosaurs getting loose.
Yeah.
And then you're left to wonder, what the heck happens to the rest of the world? There's dinosaurs everywhere now. You have the pterodons, you have the mastodons, all those other, dinosaurs that can easily go through the seas, through the skies, stuff like that. What happens to the rest of the world? So I'm definitely looking forward, actually, now that you mentioned that, to actually see what happens and where they take it, because there were a couple trailers where it showed like Chris Pratt and stuff like that with his Velociraptor team, but I don't think they were listening to him at the time. I think they had like a mind of their own.
Yeah, I think he was only rocking with Blue.
Yeah, I know there was like 3 of them or something, 3 or 4 of them.
But Blue's the only one that was listening to him throughout the whole situation.
Okay.
But with saying that, if you've seen in the trailers, there's a black girl in the trailers. My question to other people I ask is, do you think that is the guy's daughter from Jurassic Park 2, where he had a daughter, she was black, and she did like gymnastics?
Oh, the one that did, that did the flip in part 2 and
and kicks the dinosaur and everything.
Yeah. It's
do you
possible.
think they're all grown up now because they're bringing all these characters back?
Yeah.
Do you think they brought her back in that?
It's possible because rumor is that Chris Pratt can actually be that kid from part 1 that was supposed to be like the little smart ass kid, and then they said, well, you know, the dinosaur can eat your face or something like that. I forget exactly the line, but the rumor is that he could be that kid from part one, all grown up, you know, and this, and so yeah, it's definitely possible. I think so. This is going to be the 6th Jurassic Park movie. No movie has beat Jurassic Park 1 for me. Now, you know, 2 was straight trash. 3 was better than 2. As far as the first 3, Jurassic Park 1 was far above the other 2. As far as the new ones, they were good, but they didn't hit, you know, maybe it's just nostalgia, but they didn't hit like Jurassic Park, the first one did for me, where it's like, you know, telling the origin story for, you know, Jurassic Park. So I'm hoping 3 kind of just wraps up the whole Jurassic Park lore and, you know, see what happens. Like you said, who knows? I mean, how do you defeat dinosaurs? You know what I mean? How do you defeat them? So I think it's going to be one of those things where maybe the story ends with, you know, humanity is done, and then we're back to the, you know, whole whatever period is Jurassic period where it's dinosaurs, you know? So I don't know, kind of de-evolution essentially instead of evolution.
Go back to the Paleolithic era.
Yeah, so but no, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I definitely want to see it. I looked up the movies as well, and Lightyear, that's growing on me, man. The more I see the trailer of that, I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be good. Top Gun Maverick, that comes out the end of May, and so far the initial thought is that it's gonna be great. You know, there's early screenings that people are watching, they're loving it. Black Adam, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that may have been pushed back to 23 as well, but definitely looking forward to that. Let's see what else. Mission Impossible 7 is coming out this year. So, I mean, there is a lot. You know, there's a lot coming out that supposedly is going to be good. But
stay tuned for the reviews.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Especially those big ones, man. But, yeah, man, it's I can't wait to see. I think Thor Love and Thunder right now is the one that I'm like, yo, I cannot wait for that movie to come out because that thing's going to be popping. I think it's going to be popping. And then, you know, what's her name? Natalie Portman, dude. That last 5 seconds of that trailer, I was like, yo, first of all, she is built. She is like been hitting the gym. And I feel like she's gonna steal, no pun intended, the thunder in that movie. See what I did there?
Trophy husband.
Oh man. But trophy husband, there you go. But yeah, man, moving on to the last topic, you know, it's stray away a little bit from you know, pop culture and movies. Football, man, the draft just happened. A lot of things happened, especially, you know, I'm an Eagles fan, and I know Guylan hating, but he's a San Fran fan, and I can't hate because, I mean, shoot, they got what, 5 Super Bowls, you know, to our 1, and
losing these last few.
What's that?
I said we just keep on losing these last few.
Yeah, but you know, as if you're not a Cowboys fan, you're all right with me. So that's how I feel. But what do you think, Guylan, man? You know, draft just happened. I know one of your top wide receivers is asking for a trade. You know what I mean? So,
and that's the problem. Like I like the guy, and I know he wants. I don't know if he really wants to trade or just the more money. I know he doesn't want to be a receiver running back. Right. He's tired of going both ways. Because you have to figure there's receivers out here that's getting great money just being a receiver. You know, and it takes a toll on the body to do 2 different positions. And then you're not getting the same looks as like a main receiver or a main running back when you're split. So I can see where you want to split off and get that more money. And he's worth it at the moment. I did see they were talking about maybe doing a situation with the Panthers and adding Jimmy G with Debo to present that to teams. Personally, I would throw them both for McCaffrey. Give me McCaffrey. I'll take it. You can have them both because Jimmy to me ain't nothing. I'd rather for him to go away. So to me, it's just a Debo versus whoever else to give up, and I'll take McCaffrey for the 2. You can have him. Let's make the trade.
See, I have a feeling that Debo's trying to get away from Jimmy G. That's like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's either Jimmy G or Trey Lance, and you know, Trey Lance, he'll be good eventually, but Jimmy G isn't necessarily proven. You know what I mean? No. He's like either hot or cold. There's nowhere in between. So.
And that's the problem. When we're ready to get rid of him, he'll come and have a good game, and they're like, "Yeah, we told you, Jimmy." No.
Yeah, I mean, I personally love to have Debo, but I mean, we just got AJ Brown, which was crazy, and we still got Devontae Smith, so we got our wide receivers solidified. As far as Christian McCaffrey, if you're going to take him, does he stay healthy? He can't stay healthy for more than 6 games at a time or 5 games at a time. So
I'll take the gamble.
Yeah, that's true.
I like that guy. I like him enough that I'll take the gamble on him. I think he's a really talented kid, and he can do it.
And I think as far as Debo not wanting to be a running back, I see that. Running backs have the shortest lifespan in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, you get, it's ground and pound every single play. Even if you're not carrying the ball, you're blocking. You know what I mean? If you're not blocking, you're carrying the ball. So it's,
And I'm okay with giving him the money to stay and just playing receiver. Like, he's a good enough player that I'm like, yeah, if he wants the money, but still get rid of Jimmy G.
Right. And I mean, you have, what's his name? Mostert. And again, that's another Christian McCaffrey, because that man was a beast. I had him in fantasy football. When he plays, that's 80-yard touchdown almost every single game. You know what I mean? But does he stay healthy? No. He's played like 5 or 6 games every season for the last 3 seasons. So,
and I thought he was trying to go somewhere as well.
Well, I mean, he's not worth much. So for someone like that who just keeps getting hurt, unfortunately, isn't worth much. But yeah, man, we'll see what happens with Debo. I'm sure he's going to want to go to a contender too.
And what was that name of that team? Gridiron Gang movie?
From the what?
Gridiron Gang.
Oh, I don't know.
But Adam Sandler was like the quarterback, because isn't that Brian's favorite football team?
Oh man, what's their name?
Yeah, all the prison cheerleaders that were dudes with their shirts up like that.
You look like the one actor boy, the Spanish boy.
Oh man, what's his name? He's like, oh man, I'm not gay, man. You know what I mean? That's nasty. I forget his name. It's not Gridiron Gang. It's the Longest Yard. The Longest Yard.
Oh, okay, yeah, right, yeah, that was a different movie.
Yeah, that was that was let me see. He does kind of look like him. That's funny. Nicholas Turturro. He was Brucci.
Oh man, that's great.
Oh man, that is good. That is. I actually watched that movie like a month ago. What was that?
So fun. Oh. I was wondering if Brian's team got any good picks from the prison. Oh, that's funny. Man.
But nah, man, as far as the Eagles, I mean, we made moves. I don't know how I feel about the AJ Brown trade. I mean, he's a great player. He was hurt last season. He has yet to play a full season yet as far as staying healthy. But when he's healthy, he was a Pro Bowler. You know what I mean? He's a big body. I don't know if he'll be a number 1 or a number 2. But if you're going to give somebody 4 years, $100 million, $57 million guaranteed, he's probably your number 1 wide receiver. So
right.
I'm actually really looking forward to seeing our offense this year. I mean, Jalen Hurts, there's no excuse now. You know what I mean? It's been, is he a true quarterback? Is he the quarterback of the future? You have your wide receivers. You have the line. You have one of the best centers ever. You have a great right tackle, a great left tackle. You have a mediocre running back in Miles Sanders. If he stays healthy, he's good. But
can your defense pull it off?
I mean, we were okay last year though. Our defense wasn't too bad last year, So we got some good corners. We got a new linebacker, but we'll see. We're old. We are old on defense, and that's the problem. So we shall see. I don't have as much. I'm not too keen on our defense as I am on our offense. But I think this is going to be Jalen Hurts' year to prove that, I can be a number 1 quarterback. And then, he always has the legs. He's good for 80 yards a game and a touchdown, So I'm excited to see what we do. I think we can be a playoff team again. I mean, we were a playoff team last year, and who would have thought that,
Right.
And can we win the division? I'm not sure. It depends what team the Cowboys, bring. I mean, the Cowboys are always
good pickups too.
But Giants still have what's his name as quarterback, and as long as he's quarterback, I can't really see them doing much. Washington,
I feel like in the future they're going to be contenders.
Yeah. Washington, I don't know what they're going to do with Carson Wentz now. That's going to be interesting. But I think Cowboys are still the team to beat in the NFC East. Again, what Cowboys team shows up? Because they're supposed to be going 14-2 every year, and they go, 9-7. So, I think we have a good chance of winning the NFC East. How far in the playoffs we go, it's going to really depend on Jalen Hurts and how much he grew as a quarterback. But as far as the whole AJ Brown trade, we had so many picks and there were so many good wide receivers coming out of college this year. It's like, should we have drafted somebody and saved the money and gone out for defense? Because, I mean, there were some really good. There's some guys being compared to Tyreek Hill, which is, no one's going to be Tyreek Hill, but if you're compared to him, you're pretty good. Right. So we shall see if Howie Roseman did the right thing with all the draft picks. He's that's one of those things where he's your favorite guy or your least favorite guy. Is nowhere in between with him either. So,
right.
One thing I will say, I heard Howie Roseman likes to play Pokemon. Oh, there goes Bryan. There goes Bryan. That's
bring him on the show.
Give me his best team.
But it's gonna be an interesting season, man. I think it's gonna be good. I feel there's a lot of I can't think of the word, but there's a lot of good teams. It's usually not just the top 3 teams that every year are going to go to the playoffs or be in the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's very even. NFL.
Good contenders.
Yeah, there's a lot of contenders. So, speaking of video games, I heard. Do you know of the wrestler Randy Orton?
Yes.
Yeah.
He has over 300 hours into Elden Ring right now.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah. On the show.
He says he plays it. Right. He said he plays it on the road. I guess I don't know if he plays it on a Steam Deck or what he plays it on. But while he's on the bus, he's playing 8 hours at a time of Elden Ring. So there's that.
Holy crap!
He's also a millionaire, so that's easy to do for him.
Yeah. Right.
Right. Yeah, man. Any other topics we want to talk about?
Not that I can think of, no.
Yeah, man. I think it was a good one. We talked about a lot of good things. But yeah, man, Johnny Depp, doing his thing. Hopefully he comes out of this on top. We shall see. We'll post about the verdict when it happens. And if we don't have anything else, man, I guess we'll log off here. I appreciate everybody tuning in, all one of you. Nah, man, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, you guys, man. Like I said, this will be up on YouTube in about an hour or so, and all podcast services around the globe. But for Guylan and Bryan, I'm Moses. Once again, I appreciate you tuning in. Peace.
Peace.